Okay, so first of all, a very warm welcome to everybody who's come to the monastery tonight, and also those online. At the moment, at the monastery, we have had a week of group practice, all-day meditation practice, which hopefully by now means that the mind has settled to some degree and has cleared some mindfulness, clarity. And that's usually a good time to start to develop, exercise, use the wisdom faculty, to contemplate, to reflect, to observe, to see how the mind creates suffering and learn how to let that go. And the Buddha offered many different frameworks and methods and approaches on how to let things go, how to drop things, how do we actually clear those things that creates suffering for us. It's kind of a strange thing that we hold on to the very things that create suffering for us, but that seems to be how the mind works. And one way to look at this is the framework of asada, adinava, or nisarana, meaning to look at the advantages of something that we're holding on to, the good side, positive side, pleasant feeling, explore that, understand that, and then to look at the disadvantages, the drawbacks, the things that causes us difficulty, pain, problems, and to compare those and make a thorough investigation to understand those. And when we have truly understood something well, and also we know the last factor, the nisarana, the escape, the alternative, a different way of being or holding things, or a different way of operating, then we're able to let this very thing go that creates suffering for us. So tonight I thought we would explore this method, this approach, and see if we can use it for our benefit to reduce clinging, suffering. But as usual, we start with a little bit of chanting to set the tone, set the atmosphere, draw the mind to the Buddha and the spiritual values, and then to start with some calming down meditation before we go into the wisdom practices. So, starting on page 19 of the dark brown chanting book, Dedication of Offerings in English.
To the Blessed One, the Lord who fully attained perfect enlightenment, to the teaching which he expounded so well, and to the Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well, to these the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, we render with offerings our rightful homage. It is well for us that the Blessed One, having attained liberation, still had compassion for later generations. May these simple offerings be accepted for our long-lasting benefit and for the happiness it gives us. The Lord, the perfectly enlightened and Blessed One, I render homage to the Buddha, the Blessed One. The teaching so completely explained by him, I bow to the Dhamma. The Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well, I bow to the Sangha. Now let us pay preliminary homage to the Buddha. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One.
Okay, so please assume a comfortable meditation posture. Trying to find a posture where we're sitting solidly, stably, where we can keep our backs, our body relatively straight, the spine upright. Just taking some time to find the right position. This can be very helpful to avoid pain and other difficulties later on. Just landing, settling in. tuning into the atmosphere, space, the good intentions of people around us. Acknowledging, noticing that we're in a safe space, a space for spiritual practice, where other people also are here for spiritual practice. We all have our various sufferings and problems and pains in the body. But we also share the wish to be free of that suffering, free of that pain. And this is a bond between us. This is something that links all of us together. Where we can feel like on this level we're all the same. Wanting to understand, wanting to see for ourselves where the meditation, where the spiritual practice can take us. Feeling a sense of companionship, doing this together. And a sense of appreciation of that noble intention, both in ourselves, but also in those around us. Perhaps feeling a sense of uplift or inspiration coming from those acknowledgements. And also reminding ourselves that for this time, at this moment, there's nothing else we need to do, nothing else we need to think about, no other problems we need to solve. All those things can wait until later, when the mind is more clear, in a settled state. But for now we can give our total focus, our whole heart to the meditation practice. And just starting with anchoring the mind, the attention in the body. Just making the body a bit more comfortable, a bit more light through relaxation. And maybe if we've been sitting a lot, we might have got a bit tense shoulders. And just having some kindness to the body and to ourselves, letting us relax. Moving through the body, starting up the forehead, just feeling that area and letting it all relax. Moving the attention further down, around the eyebrows, the eyes, all the muscles there. Just letting all those muscles relax. With a sense of kindness, but also making sure that we're awake, alert, present, by using our ability to explore and investigate where our attentions are, getting to know about our body and how we relate to our own body, where we tend to build up tension. So moving around to the back of the head, around the ears. Maybe we don't focus our attention there very much. See if we can relax those areas. The back of the neck and the jaw. Just noticing what effects this relaxation has, both on the body and the mind. If it leads to any difference in feeling tones, sense of lightness or heaviness. If we're getting too serious, too tight, awareness, the attention further down, shoulders, letting the shoulders drop. At the same time, making sure that our spine is still straight. There's still an alertness to the posture. Moving the attention down one arm and relaxing any tension or all the muscles we can detect. Out to the wrist and the hand, the fingers. Over to the other arm, same thing. Also trying to notice if there's any of these parts where we normally never put our attention. See if we can light them up, so to speak, by putting our awareness there, our attention there. Almost like finding a new body part. Then moving attention to the heart area, just letting it all relax. Around the abdomen. And here at the same time we can also notice if there's any other kind of feelings or sensations or processes going on. Maybe some anxiety or fear or just getting to know ourselves. But at this time, whatever it is, we just let it relax. We can also notice that if we keep our attention at a spot that seems very tense or where there's a lot of maybe anxiety, we can use the out breath to relax that area. And with every out-breath we can relax a little bit deeper. Some of these tensions we might have been holding for a very long time. Some of those might dissolve just simply by placing our attention on a certain area, just letting the attention in itself dissolve the tension. And we can also, as we're doing now, use the out-breath together with intention to relax that area. It's like releasing a blockage or releasing energy that's held in place. It could be things that we have been suppressing for a long time. We never had time to properly tend to it. Moving further down to the hips and the upper legs. Releasing any unnecessary tension. Down to the knees. Sometimes if we have knee pain from sitting, it can help just to relax that area where the pain is. Further down to the lower legs and the feet. And if we start to get a bit drowsy or lose energy, we can try to sharpen our attention to focus in more clearly on the sensations in the body, in that part of the body. We can also take some strong in-breaths to wake up the system again. And when we have gone through the whole body, we can just expand our awareness to the whole body, just to notice if there's any difference compared to when we started. What's the difference, if any, in the experience? Reflecting on cause and effect in this way, it helps us to know how to calm the mind. To gradually learn which causes lead to which effects. And if we develop this skill in learning, this is something that can be applied to anything. Just for a few more moments, seeing if we can keep the whole body and mind at once. And hopefully now the mind has calmed down, settled a little bit, and we can move to a slightly more subtle object of the breath, just following the sensations of the in and out breath. we can feel the air coming in through the nose, and the continuing sensations down to the abdomen. And then on the out breath from the abdomen up through the heart area. And perhaps we can feel the sensations of the air coming out through the nose. And just staying with and being with the hopefully calming, pleasant sensations of the breathing. It's like being in our favorite place. And not just that, the longer we stay with it, the closer we stay with it, yes, the better it gets. Before the mind has settled properly, it can be good every now and then just evaluate. Is there kindness? Is there awakeness? Clarity? Waking up the knowing. The presence of mind. And while we're doing this, there's bound to be thoughts, emotions, mental constructs coming up. And here we can take the stance or the perception of being like a spider in a web, being on the lookout for any obstruction or distraction that might arise. And if we notice that, to look at it, what is it? What was that? And if there is a very persistent thought pattern or persistent emotional pattern, then we can start to apply this framework of advantage, disadvantage, and escape. So let's say there is anger arising. We explore what is the delight I take in anger. Maybe it makes us feel powerful, strong, like we are right. And we also look at the other side, the downside. What's the problem with anger? Is there any problem? Can explore how it affects our clarity of mind. How does it affect our ability to see things from different perspectives? When anger is strong, are we still in control? is it worth holding on to anger? Or can we think of another way of acting, of being, of working with the situation? Can we find a different way of holding it in the mind? Maybe we need to be firm, but can we be firm with mindfulness and clarity? We can also apply this to all kinds of cravings, desires that can arise in the mind. Why do I want this? What's the pleasure or delight in that? Why am I holding on to this one? And looking at the drawbacks of those cravings. Yes, the craving itself is just a state of discontent, of not being fulfilled, of needing something. Maybe all the effort that's required to get this thing. Maybe we have to compete with others for it. Is it worth all the effort? Or is there an escape or an alternative? Is there a better way? And can I find that better way in perhaps the mind somewhere? And we can again finish with some chanting on page 49 of the dark brown book. It's the reflection on the unconditioned. And here we can see they use the word nisarana, nisaranam. And in the sense of nibbana, the unconditioned being the highest freedom or escape. Handamayang nibbana sutta patang banamase ati bhikkhave ajatang abhutang akatang asankatang. There is an unborn, unoriginated, uncreated and unformed. No cetang bhikkhave abhavisa ajatang abhutang akatang asankatang. If there was not this unborn, this unoriginated,
this uncreated, this unformed. Nayidang jatasa bhutasa katasa sakatasa nisaranang panyayeta. Freedom from the world of the born, the originated, the created, the formed, would not be possible. Yasama chako bhikkhave adi ajatang abhutang akatang asankatang. But since there is an unborn, unoriginated, uncreated, and unformed, tasma jatasa bhutasa katasa sakatasa nisaranang panyayati. Therefore is freedom possible from the world of the born, the originated, the created, and the formed.
And finishing with the closing homage on page 29 in English.
The Lord, the perfectly enlightened and blessed One, I render homage to the Buddha, the Blessed One. The teaching so completely explained by him, I bow to the Dhamma. The Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well, I bow to the Sangha.